BS isn't happening on YouTube. It says live and there's a black screen. Don't worry, it'll like say excellent condition. Yeah! Yeah! All right. We finally arrived. Eh? Yeah. Welcome.
Oh, hey, I can hear us. I
Oh,
should probably
no.
mute that.
Yes, you should.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to Mystery Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon Mystery Dungeons and Dragons, where contrary to popular belief, it does not qualify as Canadian content. Sorry.
It does not qualify as Canadian content because there are Americans here.
Yes.
I'm an American. I've been
I think we need at least 5 more points before we're able to qualify as CanCon, but beside the point.
Yes, well, I'd have you recap the last episode, but technically we should
time to get dual Canadian citizenship.
we shouldn't recap that one. We should recap the previous one where you guys, with the help of the Voice of Dead, escaped the realm of the dead, aka Niflheim, and with a new goal of getting to the Expedition Society in order to find a way to get to outer space.
Space.
Which you now could breathe in, except Sora, he can't. You got out of that horrible place, and you boarded your ship where you saw the mysterious stranger again. You don't know his name, so that's why I'm calling him that, despite you guys calling him that.
Boss Kitty?
Yes, Boss Kitty. He gave you a I don't want to say he negotiated with you, but he spoke with you in order to find the location of Audric, as well as he told you not to F with his friends, or otherwise he'll come after you. And there was a bit of a quarrel amongst your ranks for giving him the information he needed to find one of your friends.
Also complimenting his thighs.
And I say this, but Henry mostly just ate fruit on the ground and didn't
He
take
ate fruit on the ground while everyone else went to war.
Yeah.
Everyone else went to war, and
more specifically, Lucius was the one that gave the information away.
Yes.
Raffa and Sora basically wanted to kick this guy's ass, and Rodney was just like, what am I going to do with his children?
I'd like to imagine this is like the Marvel Civil War, where like Iron Man and Captain America are fighting, but then you just like have Ant-Man or something just eating fruit off the ground in the middle of the poster. That's
yeah. Captain America, Civil War. You just see Paul Rudd sitting in crisscross position eating fruit.
that pose, like with the shooting the beam at the shield, and you just see him. Yeah, but that's where we stand. So I'm gonna set you there. I will tell you that this trip to the water continent, Lively Town, is gonna take 2 weeks. So I'll just put you right where you were when we last left off with the Dark Heroes here, and you're in this room. You see Sora slam a door behind him. You maybe hear a click as that follows the slam. I think Raffa, you walked off.
I'm like, we ended the session with Raffa with oh gosh, what's his name? Alistair coming by and saying what was going on, and Raffa said a picnic.
Oh, okay.
That's how it happened. I remember that at the end of that.
And just to tell you where sorry.
I was
Just
going
to
to
tell
say,
you where Rodney is right now, he's currently also locked up in his room, did a similar manner to Sora. He just slammed the door and locked it.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah, I thought so.
two-door
Okay.
slam. Did you lock it or is it?
It's locked.
It's locked. Okay. Ah, well, that's a hell of a picnic, mate.
Yes, it was.
Yes. Boss Kitty was very gracious. Was very gracious to be,
Oh yeah, yeah.
to have fruit with him.
Strange bloke.
Enjoy.
Strange bloke. How do you know him?
Ah,
He just showed up here and said he wanted to wait for you.
don't we know him from a trip in the mines where I activated a bomb and there was a Pikachu in a weird suit. It was a thing.
You're gonna have to
Thanks
tell
for
me more about
honesty.
that.
Before we saved our progress, so I don't know if you can find out anymore.
Oh, yeah. I guess I should just read your progress. That should give me the abridged version, I guess. Well, I'll let you continue with your picnic. Where are we setting the course to again?
Lively town.
Lively Town. Oh, why do you want to go there? Hell, I don't know what you were doing on this island, but
Well,
We're finally gonna see the Expedition Society.
finally,
ah.
I'm finally going to get that movie deal.
Oh, the Meowth Theater. You gonna go there?
Yes.
He look. Oh no, Rodney, you're not there. Does that bloke who just shut the door have anything to do with him?
No. No. He does not. But we took a ship that was heading towards Lively Town. But it was destroyed. And we were lost at sea for a while until we ended up at the Sand Continent. Somehow it led us to Naginata, and then through another mystery dungeon, we found you.
Oh. Wait. Rewind a little there. The ship exploded or it was destroyed?
It was destroyed, yes.
You see a little bit of like nervousness cross his face.
You see, it was, well, I wouldn't say it was destroyed. It was more, there was a bunch of rampaging dark type Pokemon that led us to have to leave via escape boats. It was a ship that was next to ours, the Unsinkable, that was destroyed.
Ah. Okay, well, that won't happen aboard the Excalibur.
Yes, the Excalibots.
Well, I guess I'll leave you to your picnic, your very loud slamming picnic. I'll be plotting the course to Lively Town. They do have a port after all. It should be easy.
Up to the water continent.
Just so that you know, Crow,
Mm-hmm.
Rodney is not going to make his first interaction until day 5 or 6.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Oh man, he's becoming a shut-in.
A recluse.
All
right. So Alistair leaves you. Henry, there's still a lot of this fruit here that that stranger just kind of dumped out of his like burlap sack.
Call him by his name. He's Boss Kitty.
Boss Kitty, okay. Lucius, I think you're just standing there too. And Raffa, you are there too.
Where I have to go back into my brain from like 4 months ago and figure out what my plans were.
Oh, man.
All the way back. Wait, no, it was more than that. 4 months ago was Rosa.
Yeah.
I didn't go 6 months back.
Well,
No, the episode took place this year.
It did.
to give you
Yeah.
put everything in perspective, you are on a ship right now, and there's wouldn't be much to do besides like menial chores, maybe, or interact with your crewmates or Alistair, or that's pretty much what you
So
got.
if there is any time to do your social links, now would be the excellent time to do so.
Exactly.
Elsewise, I'm just gonna start with mine, unless
I mean,
someone
the
wants to
real
start theirs
question-
earlier.
The real question is if Sora's gonna come out, or if he's gonna be a shut-in for the next 3 days too.
Well, he locked the door, so for the time being, it seems like he's shut in. Yes.
Lucius is probably just going to help keep his mind off everything, just help Alistair with whatever chores are around.
All right. He gets you to like he'd get you to do stuff like swab the deck and maybe check the sail for any imperfections. Just menial stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would want to do for like the rest of this day in particular?
Yeah, before I go ahead and do my thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll do like a halfway point, like 7 days later. I mean, for the day you have now, it's about midday right now. I'd say like about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Then Henry's gonna practice. Henry's gonna practice his loot. Practices his loot skills.
All right, you could like prop up a little stool on the helm of the ship and start playing as the Wingulls fly by.
Yes.
Listen to the hearts of the Wingle.
Listen to the hearts of the Wingulls. I don't know why it's Arnold. But
I was just about to say.
Listen
awesome.
to the heart of the Wingle.
Like, Rafa's probably just gonna update her book.
Mhm.
She's probably fine talking to everyone but Lucius.
All right. So, as you'd imagine, a few days pass. It seems pretty the mood on the ship is pretty down right now. It just seems like nobody's talking to each other, maybe, and maybe actually Alistair is talking to people, trying to like, break the tension between everyone, but
Well, for Rodney, it's been a couple of days. He's only come in to really grab food and stuff, but that was about it.
Mhm.
Whenever people tried talking to him, it's like, I'm not in the mood for this right now.
Yeah.
And then he just go back and close the door.
Typical cat.
Sora has been kind of the same way. He just kind of takes his food to his room without talking to anyone. Lucius, Raffa, and Henry, what are you probably doing through this week? Because
And keep in mind, this is before I'm going to take my action.
yeah. As the week kind of passes, what do you see yourself doing on this ship? They're pretty slow days. The weather's good. It has nice wind catching the sail, and propelling you forward. No pirate attacks.
Thank
More so,
goodness.
more so just having, more than thinking like Henry would just start talking more to Lucius and Raffa, just wanting to, because he hadn't really talked that much to them. He'd more talked at them a lot.
Hmm.
Really, the only person he's had proper conversations with is, the only person he's had proper conversations with in that case was the proper conversations with is Rodney.
There ain't no Rodney anymore.
Well, just get to day 5, and then
Yeah.
we'll start seeing him again.
Do you kind of confide in Henry, or are you still kind of bitter and untalkative?
Lucius is probably spending days basically doing the same as the first day, just menial tasks, chores, work to sort of keep his mind off everything. He'd probably engage in small talk with Henry. I don't know if he'd go too deep, but he would probably engage with small talk with Henry.
Okay. And Rafa, you're still kind of on the same boat.
I mean, she's not gonna talk to Lucius, but she'll talk to anyone else.
Yeah. So yes, in the case of
Alright.
so yes, in the case that
All right. So let's skip to the 5th day then.
Alright. So this is out of the ordinary. Rodney comes out of his dorm, and he seems to have changed a little bit. The bandana that was once around his neck is now wrapped around his head. Don't ask me how he managed to get his ears through there so that he'd be able to hear clearly. Just go along with it.
No, so it's more so it's actually like kind of a swashbuckler bandana, like a pirate.
The first thing he's going to do is he's going to check to see if Sora is still locked in his dorm room.
Well, the door is closed.
I'll try knocking on the door.
So you give it a few raps, and a few seconds later you hear, "Go away."
Look, Sora, it's Rodney. I figured you needed someone to vent your frustration towards, so...
So what?
So come on. Just... If there's something you need to get off your chest right now, just go ahead and do it. I'm here for ya. Just vent out into the air.
He says to you, "You know exactly what I'm mad about. So why echo it?"
I think it's better that if you just release the anger that's going inside your body, that it would make it much better for you to just be relaxed. Crow, this is not easy improving so much.
I know. You get used to it. Don't worry, no one's judging you.
Well, it doesn't really help building up this anger inside of you. I think that the best way to relieve the stress going on right now is to just let it all out and release it. So, if you don't mind.
You
would you like to go to the... sorry.
You hear the door unclick. Or actually, no. Let's do it this way. Let's do a persuasion roll.
Great.
I'm forgetting about that.
Dear boy, oh boy.
Ask the guy with low charisma to do persuasion, okay?
Whatever.
You hear it unclick, and then it just immediately clicks again. Like he's making sure it's secure. Actually, Rodney, give a perception check. Or investigation, whatever you want.
Sora knows what you are.
Perception check?
Perception or investigation? As you looked at. Okay.
Okay.
You look down at the. You heard the like him kind of like going, locking it as hard as he could. You guess. But you take a look at the lock, and it's a really crappy lock, and you think you can pick this lock in a heartbeat. And just kind of hearing the mechanisms click and clank, it just kind of made you realize that it's like, wow, this isn't a really good lock.
Oh man, is this gonna be a case of Smoothie Hair versus Bernie?
Well, you have to break down the door.
Look, Sora. No one really wanted to be here about 3 weeks ago, alright? We found ourselves on a huge ship. We ended up having to abandon it because of a whole bunch of stupid moon thingies going on right now. And then we go through a mystery dungeon, okay? And then it turns out that eventually going through a couple of mystery dungeons later, that we're all part of some big prophecy in order to be able to go and save the universe. And we're probably the worst people in the world to be able to do that. But hey, because the gods of time and space wanted it to happen, we are doing it anyway. So forgive me if you think that you're not the only person who's going through really harsh things going on right now, because all of us are too. We're all scared little people just trying to figure out the mess we got ourselves into. And I'm trying to be the person to help. So just please, just consider me for a moment. Alright?
There's a bit of silence, but then you hear the door unlock.
Alright. So is he opening the door or what?
He doesn't. You probably take it as an invitation to come in if you could. Like, the mechanism isn't very slight or anything. Like, it's pretty crappy, so it makes this really loud when it unlocks.
Alright. I'll enter the room.
All right. You gonna shut the door behind you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well.
All right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you clearly see him in there. There's you see like a few like adhesives in like these little bottles of adhesives in his room too. They're all used up. There's like there's small blades that looks like they were carving something. Don't worry, this isn't what you think it is. It looks very artisan and crafty, is what I'm kind of saying here. But he gives you a sigh. You see him. He looks exasperated, if it were anything. He says, "For what it's worth, I'm not mad at you."
We all know who he's mad at.
I understand that you're not mad at me. You're mad at everyone else.
Well, just Lucius.
I understand. The guy is just a poor little sick person. No, probably not the rest word to describe it. Let me rewind that. Lucius is just a guy who is thrown into a world of being an adult way too quickly. And he's absolutely afraid and scared about what's going to happen. He's made the worst decisions possible.
but that doesn't give him the right to throw one of our friends under the bus.
No, absolutely not. I wholly 100% agree with you.
Let me put this into perspective for you. If you were the one that guy was looking for and he gave him any information, how would you feel?
I'd feel very pissed off.
Exactly!
Like I said, the whole rest of us are just terrified and afraid. We're not like these exploration team guys. We just can't decide things on a whim. It's just not possible with us, and we're all fated to save the world. Lucius just made a horrible judgment call. It's kind of a thing that's repeated with himself. A lot.
I know I can't stay mad forever, but my trust has definitely been shaken.
Then allow me to be the person to help fill that trust back. I say as I go ahead and sit down wherever.
There's probably like a stool somewhere in there. You can maybe pull up and sit down.
If you're not trusting Lucius, then the very least you can do is to try to trust in me. I'm gonna bring these people back together as a team, and we're gonna be able to figure a way to get out of this mess that we seem to have found ourselves in. You have my word on it.
I know I'm not the one you needed, but I still want to do what I can.
That's the first step. And hey, if you want to help with that first step, then maybe it's about time to get that training that you've been so long been promised but haven't gotten yourself yet. So, if you're interested, how about you follow me up to the top of the deck? We'll have a little one-on-one, alright?
Maybe later. Not
Okay.
right now.
Alright.
I just give me a few more days. You know.
Alright. Well, when you're up for it, just let me know and we'll go ahead and do it. Sound good?
And just one little favor if you haven't already.
What's that?
Please don't tell Mimikyu what you know about me.
I understand.
That's a whole other can of, you know.
Can of worms?
Well, you see, I was going to do like the Pokemon equivalent, but I think that would have just killed the mood.
A whole other can of worms.
Wurmples.
Yeah, of Wurmples.
That's spelled backwards.
Okay, I understand. I just needed to help you get it out of the system, alright? You feel better?
Yeah. Thank you, Roland.
It doesn't matter. But, you're welcome. I'll just leave you to yourself, alright? I'll say that as I start heading out the door.
All right. He nods and says, "Thank you. I really did need that."
I knew you would. So yeah. And I say that as I close the door afterwards.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Alright, next on my agenda is to talk to Lucius.
Just a little side. You don't actually hear the door lock behind you. He didn't lock it. But, yeah, okay. Lucius, he's maybe on the deck, maybe just kind of with a bucket and cloth, wiping things, maybe.
Alright.
I'd say it's probably, it's getting to evening. It's kind of like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock right now.
Alright then, Lucius. So you finally see Rodney after days of him just going in and out occasionally, the thing you noticed, well, should he make a perception check about my appearance?
I think it's pretty obvious you have your scarf in a
The
different.
thing you notice is that not only has he worn his handkerchief or bandana all around his head now, never mind how he got his ears through,
Mm.
he also seems to be walking very differently, almost like he has an air of confidence.
Okay.
He seems to be like completely different
Chest puffed
from
out,
how you saw him like a couple of days ago.
like just posture straight, chest
Posture
up.
straight, not crooked.
Yeah. All right.
It doesn't have to be puffed chest out.
Right.
He's just walking straighter than normal, and that
Yeah.
gives him an air of more confidence.
All right. So yeah, so you're on top of the deck, Lucius, and Rodney kind of emerges from the lower deck, and he approaches you.
Oi, Lucius.
Roland.
All right. So we need to talk a little bit. More specifically, gathering up all our notes and figuring out what we know so far. Right?
I mean, there's not much to say. We apparently are going to the Expedition Society. We'll get in there somehow and hope someone there knows a way to get us to space. And hope we actually manage to make it that far in the first place.
Well, quite a few things happened when I wasn't around, apparently. So, figured you might as well just bring me up to snuff.
A lot.
I guess so. But hey, at least we're figuring out a way in order to get to the moon, and we can finally put this case to bed once and for all, huh?
You make it sound way more easier than it will be.
I know your pessimism, but we need to stick together as a team and be able to get through all this. Because
Is that what you
otherwise,
want to call we are now?
that's what I want to work ourselves into what we need to be.
What
You've
we
heard
need
the
to be.
stories, right?
Do you mean all the other heroes or whatever?
All the heroes of time, of course. What I know about these stories, Crow?
Which kind of stories?
Well,
Humans.
I'm more specifically talking about the kinds like Super Mystery Dungeon or something like that, but basically, like, where heroes of time basically save the world. Or chosen heroes.
You've maybe you don't, like I said, you've probably heard of the one about the time gears and the time stopping, and all you really know about it is Pokemon stopped that, but you don't really know their identities.
Right. All these old stories of time have one thing in common. These teams eventually got back together, and they are able to stop them together with their ability of teamwork. And if we don't do the same thing, we'll be, well, crushed.
I'm aware.
So,
Problem is getting us all together like that. We've never really we've never really worked well as a team. The only point in time we got close was that one time in Naginata, and it feels like it's been a long time since then.
A month.
understandable. We were just a bunch of stowaways on a ship. At least a couple weeks ago. And Raffa, she was in the middle of a desert, and then she was dragged along for the ride. So was Sora, and Lucretia. Suffice it to say, we're not exactly the typical archetype of the heroes getting together, but that's what we need to figure out. Whether we like it or not, the gods of time and space are asking us to do this.
More like the god of death, but much beside
So
the
glad
point.
you said that.
Never mind. Well, if you're not going to trust into each other, then at the very least, you should try to put your trust in me, the person who's going to try to hold the whole group together. All right?
That's not the point. I'm not unaware that we need to work together. We need to talk it out and solve this. I'm not unaware of that.
Well, in order to do that, you're going to need the glue. And he points to himself. It's something that I was very good at while I was in Team Shadow.
Roland, with all due respect, I can't look at you as the glue. You're the one who left us before, and you're the one who ran away from Team Shadow. It's hard for me to look at those and think of you as the glue for this team.
I can understand why you think like that, but please, allow me just one other chance. You don't have to agree with me or not. I'm gonna do it anyway.
If you say so. I'm not going to distrust you at the very least. I'm going to try to do my part in trying to pull this team back together, but I don't know how well that'll go out.
You just need to get that trust back together, one step at a time.
Mhm.
I say that as I start to leave.
Okay.
Do I do Raffa next?
This is the part where we're like in the Fire Emblem interface, and you see it. Rodney wants to talk to everyone.
Fire
Well,
Emblem.
like, really?
Rodney
well,
got
really-
C support with Lucius.
Hey,
Well, really, I only
hey,
decide...
Roland, can you social link with me next?
Well, here's the thing. Because I don't want to take too much time with the entire thing,
Oh,
I only
go
said
nuts.
that Lucius... Okay, alright then. So I guess I'll fit in Henry and Alistair too.
Oh,
right.
Alistair. Okay.
I mean, Henry could be talking with Alistair already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda, Raffa, and it's not going to be pretty.
No, I don't.
Have your like checklist out of like who you're gonna talk to.
Alright, so you noticed the same thing that Lucius basically did, Raffa? That he has his bandana. Sorry, Crow, I'm taking her role.
Well, I've got to establish where Raffa is. So, where do you see yourself being, Raffa?
I mean, she's probably as far away from Lucius as possible, so she's probably like in the common room,
Yeah.
under the deck.
Yeah, you probably saw Raffa as you were going above the deck, Rodney. So you can go down there. So you kind of retrace your steps and go back downstairs and go to where you saw Raffa. And now you can continue.
Alright. Alright. So, Raffa, you seen a similar thing compared to what Lucius did. Rodney's coming towards you, and he knows that the bandana is now wrapped around his head, and he's walking a lot more straight. It kind of gives an air of confidence.
I didn't
He
know
walks
we
up-
had showers on here.
Sorry, what was that?
I didn't know we had showers in this boat.
Showers?
Is your hair nice underneath there?
And that's beside the point, Raffa. The thing is, we kind of need to have a little talk, more specifically about your behavior.
I'm pretty sure that there's a bigger behavioral problem than me.
Never mind. Raffa, you said that you were an archaeologist, right? Or an adventurer of some kind?
I still am. She's kind of like with her book. Not looking up at Rodney.
Right. And, if I'm not mistaken, you're just about the same age as me, aren't ya?
Around there.
So then why don't you act like an adult? I swear, there's been a couple of things that have really pissed me off.
Now she's looking into your eyes.
You remember back in Ironforge? When Henry did that mistake where he tried to convince the town that he broke the spell? You went ahead and tried to save face along with him. And then, with the visitor that we had, up on the boat a couple of days ago, he decided to be all confrontational, when you have no idea what on earth he's capable of. Simply put, you seem to have a tendency for action and not to think.
Well, I suppose that throwing someone out to the killing machine is a better thought process then, huh?
What do you mean by that? Killing machine?
We all know what he's capable of already. I think I know more than anyone else on this boat what he's capable of.
And yet you
And
taunted
I'm
him
not
anyway.
allowed to let him do that for free. Someone has to stand up to him. Someone has to do something.
And then, if you cross him the wrong way, you're gonna get killed in one hit.
I'd rather die knowing that I tried to stop him rather than live letting him kill whoever he pleases.
Alright, tell me something. When you were training to be an adventurer or an archaeologist, what was your main inspiration? Comic books?
No, it was Mawile.
And what did she tell you?
Mawile, she told us that we had to be thorough in our investigations. I have been recording everything on our trip because of this.
Thorough in our investigations. And does that part mean that you threaten people when you know what they're capable of and likely can kick your ass? I'm
To
just
me,
saying.
yes.
Alright then, but, I gotta say, it's caused more trouble than it's worth. I just decided to throw that out there just so you keep in mind. We're all trying to work together as a team in order to solve this mystery. It would help if no one needlessly dies for no reason whatsoever. I'm just telling ya, if you're gonna try to talk to someone like that again, pick a fight you can win. Okay?
If that happened, I wouldn't be here.
Fine then. I'm glad we have an understanding. He says that as he finally walks off.
All right. So you go to where are you going next? What's next on your agenda? As you walk.
Assuming that he wants to, Henry's next.
All right.
Yes.
So Henry's pretty easy to find. He's been kind of active on the ship too. Maybe playing his instruments and trying to engage in conversation like you are. So you maybe just see him pass by at some point.
So, as he approaches you, Henry, you just notice the same thing that Raffa and Lucius had.
A whining dog.
Yeah.
So, bandana on the head, a more comfortable posture, you get the idea.
Roland, what happened to you?
I figured I need to change up my look.
Interesting.
Well, I figured that I need to put on a good face to be able to pull the team together.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be very, together to me.
You know, yeah, I'm not using my usual baritone bravado. I actively push my larynx down in order to do that.
I wasn't gonna call attention to it, but I noticed.
Yes. I don't have a solid sense of identity. I'm a child actor, after all.
Well, considering that you're just a performer, the past 3 weeks for you, it's honestly been very impressive.
Yes. It's like if Judy Garland... It's like if Judy Garland pulled out a gun.
I don't know who Judy Garland is.
What is a Judy Garland? I just came up with that name, honestly.
Good to see that you're in high spirits then.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I've been talking to the people within... I've been talking to, the Pokemon that are within this ship, making small talk with Lucius, talking a lot about our adventure with Raffa. It was rather interesting, actually. And after one conversation with Raffa, I just decided, why am I putting on my persona? Why hide who I am?
I used to hide myself commonly too. For the past 4 years, I had been on a ship my whole life, running away from my problems.
Yeah. I really want to get this team back together. We need to, in order to follow this strange prophecy. It's like one of my plays. You see, I don't understand. The theater follows me. Is it because I am an actor who has been acting since childhood? Maybe, but maybe it actually is a prophecy.
Well, if we're gonna get this team back in the shape, then I'm glad you're on my side.
I've always been on your side, Cat.
That's good to hear.
Except for that one time you called my girlfriend an item!
I am never gonna live that down, aren't I?
I am never going to forgive you!
Yeah, it was a heated moment. I have to apologize.
But other than that, Cat, I'm with you all the way.
Thanks.
We are the Dark Heroes.
It's great chatting with you. Alright, see you around.
Ta-ta!
Alright then, last but not least is Alistair.
All right, so he's on the helm of the ship.
I hope you guys don't like I hope you guys don't hate Henry's real voice, because that's what he's gonna do it.
He's on the helm of the ship, maybe singing a jaunty little tune. Like, ah, you! What are you doing here? I like the new look.
Thank you. It was from way back when, you know.
Yeah, why didn't you show it off earlier? You were just eating and leaving. A lot of people on the ship are doing that.
Well, I guess you haven't noticed, but the atmosphere hasn't exactly been too happy.
Oh, no, I can see it from a mile away. What happened?
Well, put in perspective, Lucius did a screw-up, and now Raffa doesn't trust him with his life anymore.
Ah, these
Or
things...
her life.
These things iron themselves out eventually.
And that's the thing, though. This whole thing has just been one adventure of a group of misfits have to get together in order to try and solve, because for some reason, the gods of time and space are playing a prank on us.
Oh, that
feels like that anyway.
That's the best part of it, the adventure. It usually happens in Act 2. It's called The Rift, where you get back together at the end, so you don't have to worry.
I hope for your sakes that you're right. Because it's going to take a whole lot of glue in order to get this whole team back together.
And you get a
That's
bunch of
something.
abilities together, too. You can do some cool moves.
I understand.
Really flashy.
I feel that with Henry and Lucius, I think I might be able to convince them. I'm not so confident with Raffa, though.
Oh, the musical fellow? Really nice guy. Yeah, if anything, he's livened up the ship. I never had music on the ship before. Oh, if the time comes I separate from you guys, I'm gonna have to hire a bard.
Well, I think that my idea of being brutally honest isn't exactly helping too much. Especially with Raffa. Seem to have taken my personal opinion way too seriously. Way too personally.
That's alright. It's better to tell the truth than to lie.
That's what I keep saying. Still, Alistair, if you wanted to hold a team together like glue, what would be your advice?
Well, you should level up as much as possible. You make sure your relationship is the best with the person you like the most. And, oh, that's about it, really.
You
Make
know,
sure you're... Sorry.
I think I understand it, even though it sounds like you're speaking a completely different language, but thank you. I think it really puts things in perspective.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't be on an adventure if you spent the rest of it isolated from each other. That's ridiculous.
Maybe we'll save a friend or two. All we gotta do is do it all together.
Exactly. That's why I joined your team.
You're joining the team?
Well, I've joined the team. Oh, I guess you left for a little. I'm part of your team right now, mate. Gotta avenge me father.
The first time I've heard of this.
I'll tell you. I guess those blokes down there will tell you about it. It's a real good backstory. I mean, it's a really good chapter of my life.
You've been reading way too many comic books again, haven't you?
I don't follow.
Never mind. It was nice talking to you, Alistair. Thank you.
Nice talking to you. Starts with an ah. I haven't seen you in months, bloke.
Roland.
Or a month, should I say. Roland. I'll note that in the old noggin.
Alright. See you around then. And with that, I think my whole wheel of conversations just came to an end.
All right. All right. So I'll say another few days passed. Is there any change in the climate?
If we're going to day 7, then Lucius plans to do something at day 7.
Okay. So day 7.
Okay, so after stealing himself, Lucius is going to attempt to find and speak to Raffa.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Are you probably in the still in the common room? Or I guess this is a few days later. Would you still be there?
Lucius above, she's below. If he's below, she's above.
Okay, so as you're kind of doing the chores still, Lucius, maybe you're there's some maintenance that needs to be done on that piece of the Excalibur that was blown away. You decide to steel yourself and go below deck where Raffa is.
Raffa, we need to talk.
She just kind of stops, but she doesn't say anything to you.
Whether we like it or not, in 1 week's time, we're going to be off of this ship and going to the Expedition Society. We can't leave any lingering doubts, any lingering conversations. We need to talk.
What are we talking about?
You know exactly what we're talking about.
There's a lot of things that we want that is on that list. You gotta pick one.
Oh, really? There's a lot of things? Then go ahead.
All right. Well, how are we going to the moon? Is a good one. How are we supposed to find out who Boss Kitty's after from the Expedition Society? How are we supposed to make sure that Audric survives Boss Kitty?
To the moon? Don't know. Hopefully the Expedition Society has an idea. How are we supposed to figure out who they're targeting? It's possible they might tell us, and if not, I'm sure they'd at least appreciate the warning.
Oh yeah, and here's another good one. Why isn't Nocturne back with us?
I've got a plan for that. We'll see where that goes later, but I have a plan for that.
You hear echoing in the halls.
You so much.
As for Mewtwo, well, he's got the entire wide sea to search, and he said he didn't plan on killing Audric.
He said he didn't think about it yet.
Do not know Mewtwo's name.
Yes, you are correct.
We actually don't.
As for that, fine. Then as for that Pokemon, we don't. He said he didn't plan on doing it. So, besides, he has the entire wide sea to search.
He's got like that ability where you can just sense where someone is. I mean, he found us with a handkerchief that he ripped off of Rain's body.
You're right. I probably shouldn't have I probably should have just told him that he's somewhere in the sea and not mentioned that Charmander. I won't deny that. But at the same time, it was far better than just trying to provoke him into a fight. What do you think you were going to accomplish with that?
Oh,
No answer. Wait, huh?
burb.
Oh, gosh darn it! That was not the time to burb.
Oh god, dead air filling. That. In the.
Not then why?
Yeah, you hear that echo through the ship again. I will say, Rodney though. Sora does join you for like training him. He seems to prefer doing it at night. Just when the watchful eyes of everyone isn't there, but he seems to trust.
You want to play out one of those sessions?
Okay, so is your objective just to help him out, or did you want to do something else?
I guess it was mainly just to help them, but I wanted to actually role play it out a little bit.
Oh, well, what's the gist of it?
The gist of it is that Rodney told Sora that he's going to train him,
Mm-hmm.
and that he'll try not to hurt himself too bad, but it's still gonna hurt.
Okay.
He's going to throw his punches with the intention of knocking him out, is basically what I'm saying.
So, what's the method of training you are trying to like help him be proficient in?
I would say the best thing to learn is by doing, and that's basically just sparring one-on-one.
So just like kind of just tackling each other? Is that kind of the idea, or is it using some sort of weapon?
Rodney is doing his own proper abilities, and whatever Sora's abilities that he has, he's gonna do that too.
All right. So he has like this that little tactician dagger. But it's the kind of fight where you kind of just point it at someone when you kind of have a killing blow. You don't actually, attack and do damage.
Right then.
All right. So he'll try to make let's say, intelligence roll to kind of pick up this knowledge you're giving him. He's doing well, but it doesn't seem like he's learned anything. But this is maybe just only one day.
That's perfectly understandable.
Okay.
So, I guess in the middle of it, Rodney will be like, you gotta be able to find your way around the wall. Whether it is finding the doorway, or to be able to break through that wall. Have the courage to either think your way through it, or to be able to throw through it like brute force. Gosh, it sounds like something Ape would say.
Who's Ape?
Never mind. Let's just continue.
Okay.
All right then, Lucius and Raffa, continue your conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Sure.
So Lucius said to you, could you go ahead and repeat your last line?
Basically, oh frick, that was 2 seconds ago. How can you expect me to remember 2 seconds ago? He said something along the lines of, "What were you expecting to do during that confrontation?" Something around there.
I was trying to not have to deal with it at all, but because we came face to face, it was time that we finally told him exactly how it is. We're not going to help him on his conquest of the world, or humanity, whatever you want to call it.
And do you know what you would have gotten from that? He would have killed you.
I mean, he only said he'd kill us if we got in his way.
And you just told me that you were telling him that we would get in his way.
Because we are.
We can't
You
fight
not see
him.
the problem here?
I mean,
No,
unless you want to throw Sora to him like you threw Audric.
I told you, I didn't throw Audric to him. I may have given him more information than I should have. But my intention was to tell him that Audric was somewhere in the wide ocean and to hope to waste his time trying to find him and keep him out of our hair. That was my intention. Did I say too much? I won't deny. Maybe I did tell him a bit too much. Maybe I shouldn't have told him that he was with that Charmander. Maybe I shouldn't have. I won't deny that. But at the very least, I tried to waste his time. I tried to get him as far away from us as possible. I didn't try to have him maim our corpses right there and then.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do when he comes back for Sora? He's gonna do it regardless.
He doesn't know Sora's a human.
He's gonna find out. Someone is bound to tell him at some point. And if not Sora, we've heard that there was someone else at the Expedition Society. Last I checked, the Expedition Society was the one that we needed to help us solve this crisis.
And I'm sure if we warn the Expedition Society, they can be prepared for it and they can handle it.
How do we know he won't beat us there? For all we know, he has a base with Abolition in Lively Town.
Well, that's a very good question. If only someone's thought was to waste his time searching the wide ocean, I wonder whose idea that was.
Well, it couldn't have been you, because he wasn't searching the ocean for very long at all.
You don't know that, and I don't know that.
I mean, he didn't have any issues finding us on a remote island, not knowing where we were going in the first place.
You're missing the point. I'm not telling you. I told you I won't deny that I may have given it too far, but that was my intention. Or are you just going to misconstrue my intention just to serve your own little narrative?
Regardless of what might have been, we're not going to be able to avoid him. I would rather try to stop him earlier than have him go kill at least 3 or 4 other humans before we end up having to fight him anyway.
Do you really think you could have stopped him?
I don't know if I could have, but I would have.
That's the problem, Raffa. We can't stop him. We can't stop anybody. We're all just a bunch of...
even trying then?
Because some voice of life voice of death decide to randomly pick all of us, and we're just praying and hoping that we can make it through the skin of our teeth. Do you think I like being there? Do you think I like having strong Pokemon just walk all over us? Do you think I enjoy this? My friends and family are all at home, all at risk of dying. The world is at risk of dying. And I'm just hoping and praying that I don't make massive screw-ups before I can somehow manage to save them. And you know what's not going to help us do that? Dying. If we die for nothing. If we die, then we don't succeed at anything. What I'm hoping to do is go to the Expedition Society and gain their help so we have much less of a chance of dying. What I'm hoping to do is try and figure out ways of making sure we don't end up dying out there. That's my intention.
Lay it into him, Lucius.
And it would help if you don't attempt to get us all killed. If you want to get yourself killed trying to fight a useless battle, then go ahead. But do so on your own time.
Fine. If we run into him again, I'll try to stall him for as long as I can. But I'm not about to stand by and let him do things when I could have at least tried to stop him.
Fighting a pointless battle doesn't get you anything. Except for a trip right back to that hellhole we just escaped from.
Well, either way, I think we've come to terms with our situation on the matter. I won't back down, but I'll try to keep you guys out of it. Now we need to focus on Lively Town, and we'll focus on Boss Kitty when he inevitably returns.
Fine. I can agree with that at least.
All right. I guess that's the perfect time for that conversation to be over.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is where we have the group meeting.
Okay, another few days pass and you're kind of due for Lively Town in a day or two. You hear a knock at your door, Lucius, right before you're about to retire for the night.
Door's not locked, you can come in.
It opens up and it's Sora. Can I come in?
Yeah, you can come in if you want.
He walks in and kind of shuts it behind him. Not aggressively, not like 2 weeks ago when there was a lot of slamming. He says, "Look, it's taken me a while, but I haven't fully forgiven what you've done. But I'll still trust you."
I'm at least sorry that I went a bit too far. My intentions weren't to sell Odric out. I just wanted to keep him from hurting any of us, and wanted to waste his time by hoping he'd just search the wide ocean and accomplish basically nothing. Maybe I didn't. I probably gave him more information than I should have, and
He wasn't threatening us, though. He gave us food.
You know, you're probably right on that one. I'm too used to too many people threatening us. Chaos Guild, Abolition. It's been so hard just hoping that they don't decide to take us all out.
Oh, about that, I was thinking, if we're to trust what he said, as long as we don't interfere with his friends, he won't tell them about us. So maybe we shouldn't mention this abolition team being who they are, or else he'll come after us again. If he found us based on a handkerchief from your friend, what's to say he didn't take something from the ship and he's following us?
That is actually, that's okay. Yeah. Lucius sort of muses about it for a second, and he decides to use a first level spell slot to cast Detect Magic.
All right. Oh shoot! All my books are. Just a second. I totally forgot to. That's what I forgot. I have all the die, but I didn't bring my. All right. Sorry about that. You're gonna detect magic.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing the radius here. Because that's kind of the most important part.
Yeah, I imagine.
30 feet. Besides maybe like the magical stuff, everyone is in possession of on the ship right now. You do not detect any other magic.
Okay.
That's 30 feet.
Okay.
And it's constantly
So-
moving too, so it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lucius says, well, I can use detect magic to do a sweep of the ship and see if any magic is specifically tracking us that I can sense at the very least. We should probably do that before we hit Lively Town.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, I think at the very least the Expedition I think at the very least the Expedition Society should know that someone is going after humans, and that if they do have a human with them, they should be careful and stay safe. They deserve to know that much at least.
You're right. You're right. We should do that. But otherwise, we should try to stay discreet about it. Apparently, they're a kind of a revered group, so disparaging their name probably wouldn't end very good for us. Especially if we
Yeah.
tell them they're killing humans.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I'm sorry you ended up dragged into all of this.
I know. I'm sorry for not being the most pleasant person.
Honestly, right now, I think we're all in a state where we're all unpleasant at this point in time.
But like I said, I can't just brush what happened away. It's still going to take some time, but I'm staying with you to the end. If not for you,
Okay.
for Mimikyu.
Have you done anything about that?
Let me just get this off my plate before I deal with that.
Okay. If you say so. Though, be careful because, if at all possible, it may be hard to find the time to do so after we get off this boat.
I know, but you also have to understand how hard it is.
I'm well aware if I caused...
You don't need to say anymore.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sorry. And he kind of leaves. All right, fast forward 2 days later. Lando! Lively Town ahead! As you hear, you're roused from your slumber. Do you hear that fine accented shrew shout?
Lucius gets his stuff ready and then heads above deck to sort of survey the town.
All right, so I guess, well, the Sand Continent was kind of a barren wasteland. It barely qualifies as, like, civilization. You are all kind of originally from the Grass Continent, so, I assume you're all coming up the top deck to witness, you, hitting land.
I
There...
guess for an extra thing,
Mhm.
while Rodney's going up, he'll see Mimikyu, and he's like, "Hey there, how you feeling?"
His, like, spindly little claw comes up and gives you a thumbs up.
Absolutely fantastic. Now let's seize the day.
He nods as he kind of makes his way up with everyone else. But as I was saying...
Alright, pass the little chat over so I have everything truly across.
I got
Mimikyu.
everyone. 100%.
I forgot Mimikyu about all this. I'm so sorry.
Wait, oh, okay. It said no data on the stream for a second, but it's still live, don't worry.
I thought I was only supposed to say that when we pointed at legendaries.
So you see, the Grass Continent's kind of like, it's more, natural, where, like, most of the buildings the infrastructure is kind of built into, with trees and rocks. This one, like, has actual buildings. This town you see up ahead. There's a big harbor. You could make out, like, what looks like this long trail of Pokemon at the harbor, though. They're big, sprawling, colorful buildings. That's another thing that kind of sets this apart from the Grass Continent. It seems like it like I said before, it isn't just built into nature. This actually has, like, elaborate designs on the buildings. They have, like, windows. Most of them have these like an actual door on it, like, with well, I guess you can't see the handles, but you can see the doors. You see a big building in the north end of the town. Raffa, you recognize that as Expedition Society headquarters. But yeah, it's maybe a bit of a culture shock for some of you coming to this place. Look at there, that's Lively Town.
Oh my! Lively Town!
It's a lot more
Finally!
imagined. To think
I've
this was
been
the
wanting
place
to
that I
come
was
to
going
for some
hide.
time.
To think this is the place that I was considering going for hiding.
Lucius looks over it, sort of gives a sigh of partial relief and partial sadness, and says, we're finally here.
Anyway, what do you guys plan to do here? I'm of course sticking with you. I'm probably gonna have to stay on the ship if you plan on leaving.
Just
A lot
head
of
to
desperate Pokemon might, yeah, I'll take the ship and then we'll have nothing.
We're planning on heading to the Expedition Society for now. I don't know what'll happen after that, though.
Well, I'll be here. Just give me a ship when you want to hit the old sea again.
Okay. Will do.
Oh, I almost forgot something. I need to save my progress first.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to a town there, mate. You could probably do that in the inn.
Well,
Yeah.
would you mind if I do it anyway?
Oh, sure. He pulls out his journal with, like, a bunch of scribbles in it.
Alright, so what does this look like?
It's just pages. It looks like a crazy person writing it. It's not like the same writing either. It looks like it was different people. So you gotta imagine maybe he had other people saving progress here. And some of the scribbles are just like half-hearted, I don't care kind of scribble. It's like just yeah, blah blah blah.
Alright, I'm gonna go full ass on this one.
You're gonna like write a little mini biography.
No, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna write Rodney Westwood in the best handwriting I can, and then let's go for bonus points and just let's see his drawing skills in action for a portrait of himself.
Oh, wait, all right. Let's do a I don't know, or a performance. Yeah, performance check.
Performance. Oh, brilliant. That's about what I was expecting.
It's like a little above a stick figure drawing is your portrait.
All right, there we go.
Ah, not a bad portrait there.
I try my best.
All right.
Anyway, we'll be off.
So you eventually hit the deck where kind of like they're on like this kind of separate harbor, like on the other side of the Lapras liner. You see more of those like ships similar to yours at the beginning of your journey, kind of setting off. Your ship like isn't as nice, but it's a lot smaller and more contained since you don't really have a crew and there's only one guy like manning it.
Yes, that's been the crew basically the entire 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, he ties up and bids you adieu as you set foot into Lively Town. It seems like everyone is with you. Sora's kind of like looking around, kind of. You can tell he's maybe kind of admiring this new setting.
Okay, everyone, stick together. Try not to get lost in the crowd. Let's make sure we keep constant head counts.
Yeah.
There's only if there's a
that's-
flash mob do we have to be afraid.
There's
That's what I was gonna say, Lucius. But yeah, let's stick together.
Okay, Raffa, do you know the directions to the Expedition Society?
Of course I do.
Alright, then lead the way.
All right, you just want to lead him straight there, Raffa?
Oh yeah, she is pumped for this.
All right, beeline. Whoop. I should.
She's at least like 5 paces ahead of him.
Hey, slow down!
So yeah, you walk.
My whole life.
This isn't to scale like in the game. We have like making it a lot bigger. It's not just 3 screens. You navigate through all these. It's pretty much like you're in New York City right now.
Except in the desert.
Not really in a desert. You're in a kind of a city.
So it's less like New York City and more like El Paso, Texas.
Yes. I'll just say yes to that. You see a few familiar facilities, Raffa. There is you see a Klefki with the rock and lock. You see Halucha doing Ape like poses at the Halucha school. You see creepy ass Kafarigas with his glorious gold. And
No, it's not.
Yes,
glorious
my gold.
It's
Glorious
glorious
gold.
we have-
Gold. Glorious gold.
I knew you get a kick out of that, Ren.
Voice confidence.
Yeah.
I
And
missed that. What was happening? Glorious Gold? Oh,
yeah,
dear.
well, you see those facilities there. But you're going to the Expedition Society? Oh, and there's the cafe, too, I guess. They're kind of all situated in this center area. Oh, and there's also the Meowth Theater. You know, that's down south of here, because Henry brought that up.
Maybe I could do a job here in the theater. I'm becoming a bit less notorious nowadays.
As you approach the Expedition Society, you notice there's a big lineup in front of it. A very large lineup.
Oh, good grief.
Huh. They weren't kidding when they said this place is busy.
And as you're kind of like walking ahead of them, you see some other like Pokemon yelling at you, like, "Hey, back the line!"
I'm like, I think he just has the badge.
Yeah, Lucius is the one with the badge, so Lucius just more or less ignores them as he continues walking through the front.
All right, are you like flashing the badge or?
No.
Okay, they're getting more and more mad at you as you're kind of like walking in front of everyone.
Oh man, if they try to crowd surf us, Raffa won't stand a chance.
Okay.
3 out of 3 crowd surfings.
As they're starting to get angry, that's when Lucius will flash the badge.
All right.
We're gonna get surrounded, aren't we?
Oh dear.
So, as you pull this Expedition Society badge out of your sack, Lucius, their anger turns to like awe, and they start saying, "No, you have to help us! Help us! I have a request. You have to save my brother. You have to save my friend. Please, please help us! My friend got lost. He needs to find a secret door."
We must save my family!
They begin surrounding you.
I know.
I understand you have all your concerns, but please, we have very important business to take care of right now, so please
We've
just
been
let
waiting for days!
I understand you need to take it up with the upper management.
What are you even
right?
doing? You need to help us!
Oh, forget it, Lucius. Let's just go.
You know, Lucius is going to use his... Lucius is gonna grab onto Sora, and he's gonna use his strong legs to basically just jump over the crowd and towards the building.
Oh, everyone else just gets left behind. All right. Well, I guess they just want you, so that's actually fair.
That's the point.
So, yeah, this frightened little hedgehog creature just gets like grabbed up, and you spring up, and funny enough, there's windows at the like upper levels of this place.
Oh, could I legitimately reach one of the windows?
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
definitely. Well, I think you. How tall is this? It's about 18 feet to like a window, and they're not really covered. They don't really have glass on them.
Okay, no, I don't think. Let me do the math, but I'm pretty sure Lucius can't jump 18 feet high.
Can't you use
I
jump?
intended on jumping distance, but let's see.
Let me just.
Okay, yeah, no, he can only jump 12 feet high.
All right.
So unless he decides to like hop off with one of the larger Pokemon, now he's just jumping ahead.
Well, are you using your like jump cantrip to do it, or?
You know, that is a fairly good point. If I use the jump cantrip,
Yeah,
I think I could actually. Let me look up how much the jump cantrip would.
It's tripled.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay, then yeah. You know what? Straight up, Lucius
This is
is
gonna make for a very stupid moment.
Lucius is going to use the jump cantrip on himself, and he's going to take Sora and just hop right up to one of those windows.
Okay, that's
right.
what I assumed you were doing in the first place.
I was just thinking of just jumping ahead of the crowd.
I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you could do that if you use the jump cantrip. So yeah, okay. But all right, so yeah, Lucius kind of squats down, picks up Sora, and just springs up into the air. Like the
powers activate.
You know, when like the Incredible Hulk is like jumping across the desert, that's kind of what it looks like. But yeah, you reach a window, and meanwhile down below, they're like saying, "Get him to come back. He needs to help us."
So much for sticking together.
Yeah, Rafa's just trying to make her way to the door.
It's shut, by the way, but
Oh, phooey. Okay, screw it. I'm gonna fly.
oh right, yeah, you can do that. No, come back.
God,
Yeah, you joined Lucius. We've got Mimikyu, Henry, and Rodney down below still.
Hold up, you guys. We'll be right back for you.
I suppose I could jump too, but then what would that leave Henry and Mimikyu with?
Mimikyu kind of shrugs.
Alright, you two, have fun. Talking amongst yourselves.
Are they coming back? Please tell me they're coming back. They need to help me. I need to get an escape orb for my wife. Don't ask why she needs one of those. She just needs it.
Oh my god. The implications of his wife needing an escape orb is just amazing.
And then he doesn't want to talk about it.
Rodney just says nothing as he crosses his arms and looks up.
My wife's doing sick kickflips, my dude.
Oh, okay. You get into this place. You three. Warn me before you do that again.
Sorry. It was sort of spur of the moment.
All right. You are in looks like someone's maybe just like personal room. There's like a little bed. There's a little drawer.
I hope we're not intruding. Well, I mean, we
Oh,
are.
You definitely are, yes.
Yes, you freaking are.
Fair point. Okay, so nobody's in here, right?
Nobody's in here at the moment.
Okay,
the door is
so-
shut.
Okay, Lucius keeps the badge handy, and he walks through the room and opens the door.
All right, and you're just kind of following Raffa? Are you letting him take point?
Yeah, I don't think she knows the inside of this place.
Well, you do it to some degree, but it's been a while. Actually, you're probably well aware just because you've worked here a little bit. It might be a little hazy since it was years ago, but you don't really know like whose room you're in or maybe these hallways that you're about to go through. But yeah, you go through this room and there's just kind of like a hallway with a few other doors on it. And it looks like there is a set of stairs over to the left that goes down.
Okay. Raffa, do you know where we would need to go to find whoever's in charge?
Well, we could go to the Pokemon Nexus, or we could try to find the kitchen, or the meeting room.
Which do you think would most likely have someone there?
Well, I would say the Pokemon Nexus would at least allow us to see if the badge is in service still. They have kind of it's kind of like a key.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, and apparently Henry's doing that outside.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, let's go back to outside then. Henry, you're trying to stop the crowd from going nuts, so let's do some performance rules.
Ah, yes.
And you
I
can-
shall show you the hat of infinite possibilities. 2 items will come out of my hat. And it could literally be anything.
Literally.
Literally.
All right, first let's see what the items are, and then let's work off of that.
Oh my god, it's 2 force.
Oh, that means it's like something good. I might not get you to do the...
It's 2 handkerchief ropes.
Okay, just give me a second, because I gotta think of, like, something, how this could be, like, awesome, that you got 2 fours with it.
my.
If you want to come back to us while you think, you can.
Okay, so, this handkerchief, you start pulling it out, and, a ropey, like, on hinges, or... Is Ropey was his name? I forget.
Yes, Ropey.
Yeah.
Ropey's his name.
Ropey, like, kind of is, like, watching, and then the handkerchiefs start, like, wrapping around him.
Oh.
And they begin to, like, this cloth goes over him, like one of those just magician's cloths. And there's, like, you hear this, like, mysterious... And it, like, arises now. Ropey's now a rainbow rope that he glows now. It doesn't seem to be wearing off. He could turn on his illuminescence whenever he wants.
Ah, yes. So he's a glowing rainbow rope now.
He's a glowing rainbow rope, the glowing gay pride rope.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
All right, and I was gonna make you roll a performance, but since you got doubles with your hat, they're just like impressed, like, oh, how'd you do that? I totally forget why I'm even here now.
My sister doesn't need an escape rope. She needs entertainment.
Hey, could you sell me that rope, sir?
Well,
The rope like looks at you, like, what the hell?
no.
Gee,
Just
first knock for the key item
I
and now
sell
you're
you that?
selling
Can
Ropey?
you sell me that rope, sir? No.
Okay, yeah, okay. They seem to be putting up a good distraction. Lucius and Raffa, you make your way downstairs, and you appear to be in another room that kind of branches. This kind of comes down from, like, kind of the 5 o'clock direction in this circular room. At the 12 o'clock direction, there is a set of stairs that goes up. There is a hallway that goes to the right, goes to the left, and it looks like the door is at the 6 o'clock direction behind you. There's no one here, too. It seems eerily quiet.
Huh.
I like the proverbial lights out. Like, do they have an internal lighting in Expedition Society?
Yeah, it's lit.
In the game, well, okay, I was going to say in the games, there's technically no evidence of it, so there could or could not be, but my meta knowledge aside, it's odd that is this place always this quiet?
No.
Huh.
That makes me worried we got here too late.
There's also a familiarity to this room, Rafa, now that you're kind of in the main part of this building. North goes up to the nexus in which you're looking for.
All right, well, she's gonna go north then.
All right.
Okay.
So
Lucas was gonna follow along.
you climb the stairs, and you see this great big glowing globe. It's probably not anything new to you, Raffa, but Lucius, this looks probably far beyond most things you've seen in terms of technology.
Whoa.
It's very weird how we're living in a world that technology, except for some of the time, and it's very, very strange.
Blame Jirachi.
Jirachi is the king of Schizo Tech.
Jirachi granted wishes.
In fact, there are
causing-
electric Pokemon here, but there's no things involved with electricity. Well, none that really
Listen.
matter.
Jirachi has a source of magical energy that is analogous to electricity, but only exists within certain technologies.
But yeah, you see this fantastic contraption here. Seems to be in working order.
Oh, one of the rare times it is. This is not in character, obviously. No, Lucius is sort of just marveling at it. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's got a globe with all kinds of pinpoints on different needs around all over the globe. If only there was one for the moon, too. At least, you know, for however long it takes for us. Anyway, so there should be a notch to see if this badge is still in working condition. We might even find out who it originally belonged to.
Okay. Lucius sort of looks at this globe trying to find it.
Alright, so Raffa maybe pointed out to you. It's on kind of the face of it. There's this like little notch where it probably could fit.
Okay, Lucius is gonna try and fit the badge in there.
It gives a resounding click. Well, it goes in, but it from give a let's say Arcana. I'll just tie that to technology.
Oh, man.
Both of you, if you want, or I guess only Raffa, because you don't really know jack all about this thing, Lucius.
Yeah. I was just about to say I can, but don't know how much that'll work.
Oh, man. This is gonna be either really good or really bad. It's really bad.
You don't know what it's doing.
They didn't train me in any of these fancy tech stuff.
I just went to the tour that they had one day with the class. They didn't tell me if it would work or not.
Just a sec. I have the wrong doc. I have the hat doc out right now. You hear behind you, "Sweet sassy Molassie, who are you?"
Oh, no. I think I know who that is.
You spin around. You see a little mouse-like Pokemon. You know as a Dedenne.
Da-da-da.
Yeah.
Holy mousy frosty, who are you guys?
Oh, finally, someone here. Okay,
Wait, you can't just come in here. That's against the law, I think.
it's okay, we have a badge.
What?
Okay, okay, this is a very long story, so bear with me for a moment.
You don't just
We
break
have-
in and give me the abridged version.
Okay, so Charmeleon gave us a badge that belongs to here and asked us to come to see you.
How would a Charmeleon get a badge?
That-
Let's see that badge, Buster.
Okay, it's currently in the machine right now.
Oh, why'd you put it in the machine? You could break the machine. Why are you touching stuff? She waddles over and snatches it from the machine. Huh. Oh. Where did you get this?
I told you, Charmeleon
Oh,
gave
yeah,
it to
yeah.
us.
She starts biting on it. Ha!
Should be using her whiskers on it, see
Yeah.
if it's connected.
It's trying to see Give me a second. You there? Uh-huh. You there? Uh-huh. You there? Uh-huh. You there? Uh-huh. This goes on for a few more. Huh? Wait, she tries plugging it back in the machine. Okay. Is this some kind of joke?
I'm going to guess it's identical to someone else's badge.
No, it's not. It's not calibrated, but it's definitely real.
I honestly don't understand any more than you do.
And it's
We
not
were just-
polished either. How could you not polish a badge?
That's how it was given to
Oh.
us.
Yeah, Audric just sort of handed it to us
Audric?
like that.
Who's Audric?
The Charmeleon who gave it to us.
Huh. Strange. Okay, well, you have my attention. What are you doing here?
Oh boy, there's a number of things to discuss. Raffa, where do you think we should start?
Well, well, I guess for you, Dedenne, it would start with the I
Come on! I said I'd give you my attention.
oh,
Okay,
boy.
well, I suppose first off, we may as well get to the reason why the Audric sent us here. There's this sort of humanoid, pinkish Pokemon with this really weird tail, and according to one of our teammates, nice thighs or something like that, that's going around hunting humans.
Oh,
and
wait, what?
Okay, so it's large, it's sort of got these weird. It's got this pinkish tail, it's mostly white, and Audric asked us to warn you guys that
Okay, wait. You should probably tell Mawile about this. I've gotta make some calls.
Okay, can you direct us towards Mawile?
Well, she's in her room right now in a meeting. She should be done pretty soon, but I've gotta tell someone about this.
Okay, sure.
Just-
one more thing.
Just wait next to that room. And she kind of like scurries off in a hurry. She looks kind of worried.
Oh.
Well, at least someone believes us.
You see the room off to the left where Mywile is in. You assume she's in.
I guess we're waiting there. I was hoping to retrieve our friends, but
There's what are you doing outside? Are you still just doing tricks? Rodney, what are you doing?
I don't know. I guess it's just been a while since our friends have came back.
Oh yeah, it hasn't been that long. Well, actually, now that they're waiting, they've probably been waiting there for like a half an hour so far.
Right.
Yeah.
Henry's
Henry's
gone far enough. We have to go.
This is the part where you're like, did they just get arrested?
Henry seems like really into it. He's just showing off, right? He's doing like rope tricks with his sentient rope.
I'm doing rope tricks. I'm playing my flute,
Yeah.
and I'm doing the voice because Henry's doing the voice because he's performing.
Okay, and I guess I should go back to the interior now, and you
Henry!
you hear the door open. And Mywell's just kind of like talking from behind her back, and she like turns around and sees you. Oh,
Rafa's trying not to make a weird face, but she definitely got sparkly eyes.
Hello, you're Mawel, I believe.
Yes, who might you be?
My name is Lucius.
I'm Rafa. We might have met once before, maybe at school somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my school.
I remember when you came here and that little incident happened.
I did fix it, though.
Yeah, you did. No. You know, you can't fault you if the situation was fixed. I was just in a meeting. Why are you here? And, from behind her, another figure emerges. And, Raffa, notably, you noticed this figure. You remember seeing this figure when you were, inhabiting Rain's body. It is a Jolteon.
Of course.
No.
Of course. Of course.
Oh, hello there. You see Sora kind of like looking over at you and like shaking his head.
Hi.
I guess you had a request with the Expedition Society.
Oh, Mywell interjects. Abolition is helping us establish a sister building to this one over in the grass continent to help with the workload. Normally we aren't really set to be explorers, and we're more to be rescue teams, but with these recent events, well, they're looking for anyone at this point.
I can imagine. Anyways, we met with the den and she told us to speak with you. Can we speak in private if you don't mind?
Oh. Yes. I suppose I shouldn't interject in your personal affairs. He kind of looks at you, Raffa. You know, you sound kind of familiar. Do I know you?
Have you been to the grass continent before?
Not in recent memory.
Maybe I talked to you when I was visiting here a while back? I don't know.
Maybe. Well, must be nothing. Maybe you just have one of those faces. But I give you good tidings, and he begins sauntering his way down the stairs.
Yeah, well met.
Anyway, anyway,
Oh,
Raffa, you wanted to speak with me? How did you even get in here?
Well, we've had a few adventures, but besides the point, we need to work with the Expedition Society, and part of that comes with the warning that we've ran into a Pokemon that we've started calling Boss Kitty that's been trying to eliminate humans, and we were told that someone in your ranks needs to know that warning, especially.
Her mood kind of dowers when you say that. I don't follow. What do you mean?
Okay, so we just told this to Dedenne, but it's this whitish. It's this
Wait.
sort of.
Is that guy gone? You mean Topaz? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know his name.
Well, a lot of people know his name. Sora kind of looks at you.
Well, we'll start from the most recent events and work our way backwards.
Okay, continue.
So, when we left this Charmeleon with that warning, he gave us a badge that we plugged into the Nexus to see if we could contact you guys, because we didn't know if anyone was here. That's when we met Dedenne. And so before that, we went on a mission to the mythical location Niflheim in order to get some answers as to what's going on. If you can recall right, the moon has been going through strange phases, including turning blue and making Pokemon seemingly go wild that are dark type.
Well, Jirachi mentioned the former, but I haven't heard that was the cause of the latter.
I was among a ship that most of the crew and all the dark type passengers went berserk. I, as one of the survivors, along with a few of my other friends who are currently outside right now, but
Oh,
point is, we were survivors of that moment, and I could confirm that that's been what's happening. There's a lot going on in the world, actually, that you guys need to know about.
I suppose you don't have any proof of any kind. I know it's a tall order to prove something like that, but I'm suppose it's the circumstantial evidence is a testament to what you're saying.
Let's see. This is where I'm going to pull out the Revenant sword.
All right. And what is that?
This is an artifact from Niflheim. If you notice, it's built similarly to a Reaper cloth. It's some of the best evidence I have because we got it from going to Niflheim.
Lucius also pulls out the
I thought you threw yours to the demon.
No, he's going to pull out the Rick, I can't remember the name of it. The crystal.
The ethereal.
Yeah, the ethereal crystal.
All right. Her eyes kind of like marvel at these strange artifacts. She looks particularly at yours, Lucius, just because it certainly looks a lot fancier than the sword. She says, "May I?" As she kind of holds out.
Yeah, you may. I actually wanted you to sort of look at it and investigate it because there's something else I sort of want your help with as well.
Well, I could definitely do that. This certainly intrigues me.
Yeah. If you find any magical properties or anything like that about it, could you let me know? And if you do, could you potentially replicate it without any of those magical properties?
You know exactly what I'm going to ask next. And that is?
Why?
Exactly.
Okay, so I am on a mission from a Houndour called Insensia, who asked me to escort a Meloetta named Nocturne to this building in order to speak with you, Mawile.
She looks she's been kind of looking into this crystal, but then she kind of stops and says, "Who?"
Do you mean Insensia or Nocturne?
I wasn't made aware that any of those names were to come here.
Huh.
That's concerning.
That's strange.
They said they wanted to specifically meet with me.
Yes, I believe, though I'm not certain, it's because Nocturne speaks in a language that we don't really understand that well and doesn't speak common that well, and she apparently has some sort of information that you need to hear that she can only say in her own tongue.
Well, I would certainly oblige, but I wasn't made aware that someone like that was coming here.
Apparently, Incensia never bothered to tell you or something.
Or she didn't make it.
You know, that's a possibility too. Incensia may not even be alive anymore. She was on that ship that the dark types all went berserk on. We don't know what happened to her. But anyways, the point being, Incensia was captured by a group known as the Chaos Guild, and in order to get her safe return so I could bring her here, they asked for an ethereal crystal from Niflheim.
Now, I've heard whispers about them, but the Expedition Society weren't really set to deal with them. I heard it was mainly rescue teams on the Grass Continent that were mainly dealing with the Chaos Guild. But the rumors haven't strayed far away from me. I know I've heard rumors of them harassing Pokemon in mystery dungeons.
Yeah, they've been harassing us too in every mystery dungeon we've been in almost.
But despite, well, the exploration team and rescue team's efforts, no one could really pin them down.
That's because they're inside a mystery dungeon.
What do you mean by that, Raffa?
I mean, their base is within a mystery dungeon. They use magna gates of some kind to teleport between dungeons, so they never leave one unless they absolutely have to. That's why we can't track them down and how they can travel all over the world so fast.
That is concerning.
That information did not come cheap either. As I told you before, that Pokemon that we nicknamed Boss Kitty, he is killing human Pokemon, and he found out that someone in our ranks was protecting a human, and he killed him for it. And that was what happened after he escaped from the Chaos Guild.
Anyways, my point is, in order to get Nocturne's safe return, they asked us for an ethereal crystal. I don't want to give it to them if it could potentially further their plans, which is why I'm hoping, if at all possible, if this is truly something that could do so, that you guys would be able to make a replica so I could make the trade for Nocturne without having to potentially cause problems to this world.
Well, it's a noble plan, but there is one flaw with it. Suppose you make this trade and they know immediately it's a fake. What do you think will happen next?
I'm hoping it's convincing enough that
You're
hoping,
so it isn't a certainty.
Nothing's been a certainty for me. What I'm hoping to do is make the trade, they leave, we leave, so we're out of their necks and they're out of our necks, and well, there is one other thing. They've threatened my hometown. So before I make the trade...
So you're gambling your town, too. Listen, Lucius,
we've been
I don't
placed-
mean to offend you or anything, but In
Yeah,
my experience, you shouldn't put lives on a gamble like that.
Let me finish, please. I plan to go back to there and ask them all to evacuate and leave to safety.
I think they're gonna listen to you for that one.
And not to mention, you said they have this nocturne, too.
Yes.
You don't think they're going to verify it when you give it to them? No offense or anything. But, like I said, in my experience, you shouldn't gamble a life. We should find out why they want it. So taking it to me to analyze it was a good decision. But I don't think we should resort to be handing fakes just yet.
Very well.
Malwa was spewing facts.
Very
How's
well.
the actual glue?
But I will make sure your hometown is safe. 2 of our members are in the grass continent right now, Arkin and Weasel. I'll make sure they discreetly tell your town about the situation, and we'll try to make sure everyone's safe.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
The town is
I'll try.
called Iron.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
go
Okay.
ahead.
The town is called Iron Forge. It's a small town near the mountains.
Well, if it's smaller, that's a good thing.
Thank you, and I'll entrust the crystal to your analysis before we go any further with it.
Did you get any more of these crystals?
Yes, our entire party has one.
Then I recommend you leave them here and do not sell them.
I didn't plan on it.
But we're your friends.
Rob,
Oh, everyone just thinks of Henry immediately.
Yeah.
we might
Raffa
want
gives her crystal over.
we might want to get Henry in here first and foremost before he does that.
I think we should head back outside.
She sees your like hesitation, and you're like, "Oh shit, Henry." She says, "Swirlix, Swirlix." Yeah. Who is she letting in?
A Meowth with a black. Well, it used to be a scarf, but now it's a bandana, and he also has a camera with him, and an Elekid with flamboyant hair and a purple scarf, and also a Mimikyu.
Go call for them on the front door. Try not to let anyone else in. Okay. Meanwhile, outside, the door cracks open and, a flamboyant Meowth, Mimikyu box, and Elekid with bandana, you're allowed in.
That doesn't sound like me or any of my friends at all.
I think he wants to listen. Come on, Henry, let's go.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Mimikyu.
All right. Since you've been performing for them, Henry, I'll just say your like enthralling performance went off, and you've managed to tame the crowd, so you're allowed to just kind of exit scot-free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you get in. I think you're the one. Your friends want to see you.
Oh yes.
About time.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh. What is it?
I don't know. I'm hungry. They're up the
I have
stairs.
business with the Expedition Society now. Okay, let's go.
About time. Let's go.
They're up the stairs. You can go find them up there. I gotta go eat.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. As they kind of arrive, as their heads emerge up these stairs, Are these all of them?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
all of them.
Why have you summoned me?
Oh my gosh. First off, Mawa wants to have everyone leave their ethereal crystals here.
Oh, that crystal, the bull thing. Yeah.
You want us to leave the ethereal crystals?
Mhm.
Yeah, so they can investigate it and make sure they don't pose a danger.
Well,
Okay.
I can see there's been a significant development, huh?
Yeah, it would have been better if you only had taken one, but as long as they're all here, you should be fine.
Okay, so here is an ethereal crystal of which I have. Yes, I obtained it from the voice of death herself.
Well, he certainly corroborates your story. Is there anything else you wanted to tell me?
I have very strange feelings towards the voice of death.
Yes, there is something else we want to tell you. I know it is not Henry's strange fascination with voice of death, apparently.
She is tall and beautiful, and I want her.
Well, there's an easy way to her.
I will not kill myself for such things.
But anyway,
Regardless of that fact,
what?
Okay.
someone pull me up to speed.
We'll explain it just a bit, Roland. Okay, one more thing.
I'm probably the one person who didn't grab an ethereal crystal. I don't see it in my inventory.
Oh, okay.
I could have sworn everyone.
I thought
grabbed
everyone
one,
got
but-
one, but if you don't have it, you don't have it.
The one of us showed restraint.
I mean, Lucius needed to grab one, so
Anyway, what did
I
you want to tell me?
wanted to study.
there's one more thing. We need to talk about one more thing involving the moon. The voice of death gave us a mission. There are humans on the moon.
And they intend to attack from the moon.
Rodney just gives a glare to both Raffa and Lucius as they say this, giving them a look of, you expect her to take this at face value? Seriously?
Go on.
So, when I last visited my hometown, they were under a spell by a hypno working with those humans in order to mine red gemstones for my village. In the process of rescuing my hometown, we ended up in a scuffle with one of the humans who ended up transforming into Pikachu after we broke his suit.
Rafa's gonna pull out the helmet and the glove.
Yeah, these are items that belong to those humans, so there's our evidence for this story. And that human and the voice of death both warned us that the humans up in the moon they believe that because apparently a series of disasters hit here that affected their homeworld, they believe that by destroying this world, they will be able to make sure their homeworld is safe. So they're planning on somehow using power from the moon to send a giant laser and destroy this planet.
I wouldn't put it quite like that, but what they're basically saying is, we need to go to the moon.
Well, getting to the moon is no easy task. Not to mention, you cannot breathe up there. Well, you possibly can. If,
We were blessed by the voice of death.
It's funny you mentioned that, because most of us do.
The voice of death basically, as part of us agreeing to help with that, the voice of death allowed it so that none of us, except for Sora, and he points to Sora, all of us except for Sora are blessed so that we won't suffocate to death in space.
Sora was an interesting exemption.
So he needs a means of breathing in space.
Yes.
He plans to
if he
come
comes-
with us.
He nods, and Sora nods. Well,
He can just sit inside of the helmet
well, it was going to
and
be
roll
hard,
around like a gerbil.
like one of those like balls that the
Yeah, we can
hamsters
make
are
a
in.
hamster ball out of the helmet.
Yeah. Well, it would have been a very arduous task to accommodate all of you, but I'm sure Jirachi can finagle something together to combat the elements of space for one Pokemon. But
That'd be... Oh, sorry, continue.
But it will take a little time to, make to his size and his stature. But we could certainly do it. But I have one more question. You said one amongst you was killed for defending a human. Which one of it is you? Which one of you is this human?
Lucius sort of closes his mouth and he says, if they wish to disclose themselves, then they may hear, but for obvious reasons, we've been trying to keep that under wraps.
That's almost
And
like a
we know
PTSD.
that you feel.
That was almost like a
We
PTSD.
know that you feel the same way because you also did not disclose the human in your ranks.
That's true. But she kind of like looks up and down if like one of you is willing to say it. And Sora just says, I am. The dog is like,
It's
No,
It's me.
The dog is a human.
Okay, then. We're good to go. Let's get you to the moon.
For a really bizarre story that they probably told you, you're taking this very well.
Oh, stuff like this happens all the time. It's in fact the crazier stories that end up being true.
Really?
Really?
I almost don't even want to know what you've been
Did I
through
really
that
just
that's
put on
normal.
Rodney just gonna... Rodney, for once, is actually just kind of at a loss for words.
So, well, we don't have the means of getting you to space, but I might know of a way of doing it.
Any information can help, really.
Are you aware of the War of the 18 Kingdoms?
Bits and pieces, but
I know
know-
that history.
We know that Arceus took the relics away, and that King Audric had something to do with the Fire Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. We knew someone named Audric.
Mhm.
And and it seemed like he could have been that historical figure. It's strange.
Well, as strange
I
as
think
that
we
is.
can just get to the point and say, yes, we know a little bit about it, but not everything.
But you are correct, Raffa. Arceus seized all the plates Audric collected and deemed them to be too powerful to be put in control of Pokemon. Well, it seems like that was the solution, because after that, Pokemon slowly but surely began coexisting with one another. Until we made it to the point where, outside of some niche examples, Pokemon of all types live together just fine. But why I bring this up is because I've seen Arceus before. I've seen the plates. But the thing about it is I only saw 17 of them. It wasn't really...
17.
It wasn't really in my place to ask why, but based on what I've read, the one that was missing was the pink one, the pixie plate.
Oh no, the fairies.
It's the fairies! Fairies! They're conspiring against me still. Oh no.
Raffa, do you know what spurred on the war? Given history check.
History check, let's go. Oh, let's not accidentally pull up Rosa.
Rosa, do you know about this stuff?
I'm sure she does.
Okay, so you just know that the fairies were conquered first. That's all you really know. They were the first ones to be conquered and pretty much wiped out. But outside of that, you don't know like why or what they did.
All right.
You basically have your answer.
Yeah. Just how do you phrase this answer to her?
All I really know is that the fairies were the first to be conquered in the war. And that's about it.
Yes, the fairy kingdom was bequeathed with the pixie plate, and they were not fighters. Rather, they engineered tools and devices with the pixie plate. In fact, many of the items that we consider magic that we use today, like wands, orbs, or even mystery dungeons themselves, all are remnants of the fairy kingdom. They were a benevolent society and allies with all the other kingdoms. They were the only other kingdom to accept Pokemon who weren't fairy types, which is probably exactly why Odric strategically wiped them out and claimed their plate first. He didn't want them providing any of their wisdom and technology to the others. But the point of this history lesson, Raffa, is knowing that, what would you deduce as to why Arceus would be missing that plate?
Well, a few reasons could be he gave it back, or that Odric lost it and no one else was able to find it. Or Arceus gave it in more recent history.
Or maybe it's broken. Maybe it's broken and scattered all over the place. You never know.
I was thinking of more lines with the former.
I cannot hear ya.
Me?
I can.
I was thinking along the lines of the first thing you said. Maybe he gave it back to them. But you may be wondering, the fairy kingdom doesn't exist anymore, since that's an archaic, well, relatively speaking, an archaic form of society of being segregated by type in a war that happened 100 years ago. But I think maybe the fairy kingdom still exists, it's just hidden. And if you were able to find the fairy kingdom, maybe, just maybe, they would have a means of getting to outer space.
Can someone get me a hat of aluminium? Because I am freaking out!
So what you're saying is, we find this kingdom that mysteriously vanished off the face of the earth. We find a way to be able to go to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not the first kingdom that disappeared off the face of the earth that I haven't found.
Okay, Mowell. Then allow me to propose a question of my own.
Do you have any idea of where or how we would first start looking for them?
Well,
Not quite how I would put it, but basically, how would you be able to find a kingdom that mysteriously vanished off the face of the planet?
like I said, the fairy kingdom was known for its technology. And they're said to be the ones who created mystery dungeons using their magic.
So, we just used the mystery dungeon in order to find a way to the fairy kingdom. Or rather, the correct one.
Well, the fairy kingdom was located on the Mist continent. Coincidentally, right near a mystery dungeon called the Forest of Fairies. But that is a very treacherous dungeon, full of illusions and all sorts of traps. Not many adventurers
Illusions and traps.
have delved too deep into that dungeon. But
Course.
if I were to bet it would be anywhere, it's probably there.
So we need to travel to the Mist Continent then.
Time to get back at those fairies!
But
Ignore Henry, he's being overly dramatic.
Fairies!
I do have one little request, though.
That would be?
That Sora stays here. You said
Sora?
you said that someone is hunting him down. And I can't think of any safer place to be than here. Especially if you're going into a mystery dungeon, I'd wager the Chaos Guild is going to show up again.
Oh, more than likely.
There will be 2 humans under your care in that case. And I might want to add Topaz was involved with Boss Kitty.
Excuse me?
When our friend died, I saw it with his eyes. And Topaz led him straight to Boss Kitty.
And you're just gonna believe that she'll take that at face value, Raffa?
No, but she should be at least aware that Topaz might need to earn his trust. Keep your eyes on him.
That'd probably be the more appropriate way to phrase it.
Well,
I'd rather her know everything and piece it together with later evidence than hold evidence back, and then she'll need it later.
In any case,
Sora
I'm not sure.
Sora chimes into it. He says, "It's true. Him and his team are doing it." And
In any case, sorry.
Go on.
In any case, I'm not sure if we should leave Sora with you or, well, anyone for that matter.
It's Sora's decision, you guys.
I know, but I want all of the details to be known to the Expedition Society first.
Fair enough, but in the end, it is Sora's decision if he stays here or not. We can't tell him to come with us or to stay here. It's all up to him.
And besides,
I suppose
we need to make a suit for him as well.
I suppose you do have a point.
That one is a fair point, actually. Sora?
As much as
Even
I wanted to go with you, I guess it makes sense if I either can't go here or I can't go with you up there.
I suppose it makes sense. Still, after training you on the, I'm not calling it that, so, the Excalibur. After training with you on the Excalibur, it kind of feels like I put it to a waste.
It won't be a waste.
Yeah, you're
Then
heading with us.
promise me that you'll wait so that we'll try to come back?
Yes, I will.
Okay then.
Just promise me you'll take care of him.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I will.
We will.
Mawel says, well, this certainly is a little harder to believe that abolition would be doing something like this, but with the proof you've provided with these other claims, I can't really fully dismiss a claim like this.
Don't take us at face value, but just be careful.
I understand.
And
Don't
we
make
can't
it
change
obvious.
the fact that abolition on the surface is still helping out Pokemon, but ranks deep within them use that as a means to get around quickly and quietly to eliminate humans.
Just don't make it obvious that you find them a little sus, okay?
Oh, trust me, I won't.
I honestly don't know why they told you it, but I guess it's out of the bag now.
Most of our members aren't here at the moment, but you can take refuge in here for the time it takes me to analyze this crystal.
Yeah, that would honestly be great. If we're going to inevitably encounter the Chaos Guild in the Forest of Fairies, then knowing everything we can about that crystal will be helpful to sort of determine how we'll approach the encounter with them.
Mm-hmm. I could say it looks very otherworldly, just by looking the exterior. But I can tell you by tomorrow what I find from it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll leave the Revenant sword with you as well, just in case. I don't know if it has anything special, but it doesn't have a whole lot of use out here.
And that badge you gave us, I'm gonna let you hold on to it, and we're gonna calibrate it to the Nexus, so you can keep in contact with the Dene.
Oh, that'll actually be very helpful. Thanks.
Raffa's once again kind of having happy tail swish moments.
I know that Rodney doesn't know this, but sheesh, we just spilled all the beans, and how do we not know that they're listening in on us?
Raffa and Lucius were just like, yes, someone to confide in.
Anyway, for the time being, you could rest here and recoup as I analyze this gem. She begins taking it to her table, pulling out some books from like her top shelf, and has all these instruments like sprawled out on the table. It's me like in a clamp.
I think we all know where Raffa's gonna be.
I'll leave you to that then.
She's gonna be right here.
Just watch it.
She's gonna be the best assistant ever.
We're kind of going a little over, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm probably ending here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured this was we're getting close to the end thing.
Yeah. All right. So I'll say you're kind of like helping her out there off study this crystal, and we'll.
All right.
Sorry. We'll end. Well, unless you want to do something else, we'll end it here, and we'll pick off. That's the one I'm looking for. Thank you.
Pick up.
We'll pick up back where we left off in 2 weeks' time.
I was like saying pick off. Like, that sounds wrong.
Yeah, that seems a little suspicious.
Failing at English. Okay. Yeah.
I see.
All right. Yeah. Good to be back.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll see y'all later.